What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Quality Talks podcast. Guess what? The big Geordie's back. Hey, Chris, how you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad. Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's been a little while leaving you out on your own again.
I know. You know what happens when you leave me on my own? Bad things happen. So, you
You
need to
seem to
come
be
back to.
you seem to be having plenty fun with it. To be honest, you've had a few great guests on, and then you've even been rocking it alone and doing a really good job of it. So I didn't know if I was
Yes.
going to get an invite back. If I was honest, I thought you were getting too comfortable.
No, I've missed not having you around, man. I absolutely missed not having you around. So it's great to have you back on. And yeah, so we're gonna have a bit of fun on this episode today. We were originally going to record this a while back, but we parked it for when Chris was back. So we're gonna have a bit of fun, and you, for those that follow us on LinkedIn, you'll have no doubt have seen a question that we posed. I think it's a couple of months ago now, wasn't it, Chris?
It was,
About
yeah.
if you could have any superpower to help you with your job, what would it be? And it got such great engagement. We had so many people throwing some really, really cool ideas around, I have to say. So we're gonna have a talk about that, and see where it goes. We've got no plan for the episode. We're just gonna have some fun. I mean, look, I've even got my Venom hat on for those that can see it. Check that out. Right, love it. Got to be branded up with the superhero. I mean, is Venom a superhero? I think he is, isn't he? He's
Yeah, it can be.
he's a bit of an anti-hero, isn't he? He's a little bit of a bad boy. I like a bit of a bad boy. Do you know what I mean? That's why I like you, Chris. You're a bit of a bad boy, yeah. Hey, you're a bit of a bad boy. So cool. But first of all, just thank you for everybody that keeps following us, keeps listening, keeps watching. The numbers are growing, which is great to see. And yeah, we just really appreciate it. Honestly, we have a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully you get a lot of value out of it as well. And that's what we want, right? We've got a lot more content coming. We've got some big announcement coming soon as well, for something really cool in October. And we just keep rolling, we keep growing, and we just keep having fun. So Chris, superpowers, man, superpowers. So this came about from the talk you gave, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, some people might have actually been in the audience. Some people might have seen it on LinkedIn, and if you have missed out on it, I did a talk at Ministry of Testing London. I think it was 4.0, if I'm right. So the fourth one that was throughout the year, we hosted.
I think it was. Gary likes to number them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And we hosted at Dunelm's head office in London, and it was a great night. It was about 75, 78 people there around about that. And obviously it was a little bit snug, but I think it just created a really nice atmosphere. You know, everybody was really collaborating. We had some great talks on and stuff, and I presented my talk as well on like using superpowers and like understanding how that impacts public speaking, and it got like a really, really great reception, and there was a lot of questions. I actually spent more time answering questions than in the talk.
I remember that.
But then it's a good sign, and there was a lot of great feedback around that. Like it touched a lot of people, and they felt like they could definitely relate to it, and there was a lot of takeaways. And I never in a million years thought it would have that kind of impact, but if anybody knows us, they know I always speak from the heart. I am very empathetic and in touch with my feelings and stuff, so the ability to connect with people in that way, it was just really lovely. And I'll definitely be doing it again at some point, and bringing it to other audiences. I just need to find which is going to be the next one that I'll do it at. But off the back of that, obviously we just had a lot of curiosity talking about superpowers and stuff, and we had like that beautiful image. I don't know if you have seen it, Stu's. You put it on Quality Talks podcast a few times. that AI image of me. I mean,
Yeah, that superhero image of you,
is on
Chris.
point. That's just what I'm like on a day to day. If you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see us,
When Chris is in Newcastle and he's walking, and if anything bad happens, he goes to the nearest phone box, rips open his
puts
comes
me.
out naked, which isn't quite the right way of doing it, but he'll get there. He'll get there. He forgets his cape half the time, but
But yeah, so we just had curiosity and we wanted to explore what people in the community would have as a superpower if they had
yeah,
one choice, you know. So we put the question out there on LinkedIn, and we got really good engagement on it as well. And I think it's nice when you can ask a question that's it's not so serious about some of the topics that we
yeah,
talk about. It's not dry. It's a little bit of fun behind it as well. But
yeah.
then at the same time, taking something that's a little bit fun, you can really apply some really great meanings to it when you tailor it to your own situation,
Mm.
or maybe think about it from a different perspective. And that's what we try to do through some of the questions and the answers we've got. But it's been a little bit of time now as well. It's been, like, as Stu mentioned, 2 months, but we're dragging it back out of
We're
the
dragging it
closet
back
and
out.
go through some of those great comments. You
Yeah,
have contributed, so I think it's
yeah.
important that we share some of them because there's some great talking points around that as well. So
Yeah,
we can go through that in this episode.
and just to swing back to the talk you gave,
Mm-hmm.
that was all about vulnerability being a
Mm-hmm.
superpower, wasn't it? And
It was,
specifically around public speaking. And I think that's why it landed so well with people, and it resonated with people so much because a lot of people have that fear of public speaking, and actually using that fear and using your vulnerability really is a superpower when it comes to performing on stage, so to speak, right? So I think it was great to see, great to get even like the feedback afterwards on LinkedIn as well, and people have actually mentioned it in some of their comments in response to the question,
yeah.
as well. So yeah, it was really great. It was really
And
great.
not
I did.
forgetting, I managed to command nearly 70 people to look stupid as well, just to
You
make myself
did.
feel a bit more at ease.
You did. Yeah,
It
yeah.
worked
Shut
as
your
well.
eyes. Put
We
your
all
hands
fell
out.
for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If Chris ever asks you to close your eyes,
Be very
he
cautious.
you'd be very cautious. He's either going to make you look very stupid or he's going to do something really wrong. So yeah, just be mindful of that, people. If you ever like are in a room alone with Chris and he asks you to shut your eyes, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, oh, so funny. But yeah, I think it's shall we go into let's go into some of these, and
Yeah.
obviously we could talk about what we would say our superpower is as well, and actually we were just talking before we came on, and I've got my Venom hat on, right, and this hat is really cool. It even glows in the dark. I'm not going to turn the lights off so you can see it, but it glows in the dark. And I was saying to Chris before we came on air, I feel like sometimes in our roles as QA professionals, quality professionals, we're a bit like Venom because we have to like weave our way into people's DNA to try and influence them in, maybe not quite the savage way that Venom does for those that have seen it. But maybe that's something that maybe that's a power that we need in the future. It's like our way to weave our way into somebody else and, take ownership of their body and their mind to actually help influence what it is we're trying to do. But yeah,
What would your superpower be, Stu?
do you know what? For all the things I think about, I think my superpower would be able to, from a listening perspective,
Mm-hmm.
being able to listen to multiple conversations at the same time and being able to process them all at the same time and stuff like that. So we do a lot of coaching, right? And we do it on a one-to-one basis, and we have to active listening, and you have to try and shut out all the other noise. But
Yeah.
actually being able to do that in a room full of people without really having to say you're listening, but you're able to pick up on everything that's being said, able to process everything without them really knowing. So you can really hear the honest conversations that are going on.
Yeah.
That for me would just be an amazing power to have, because you could just get that feedback in the moment in a room full of people
Mm-hmm.
and not have to do too much. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have to go through too much effort to get it, because you could literally process it all in that way. So I think for me, being able to, listen, but then process and, collect that information really easily would be a superpower I would love to have. Because
That
I'm
might be
lazy as well.
possible in years to come with Elon Musk's Neuralink. You might turn into Stu the Cyborg, and that might be your superpower it gives you.
But then potentially you'll hear things you don't want to hear as well. And it's like, I don't. How do you filter out the stuff? Yeah, that's it. You see, I want to be able to filter out the noise and the rubbish, and only get the information that we're really really looking for. So yes, I think that would be a superpower that I'd love to have. And there's some other cool ones on here that I think would be really cool as well. But how about yourself, Chris? Would you, other than your vulnerability, you can't use vulnerability. That's not fair. And it can't be about food.
Have you seen the new Happy Gilmore?
I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it. I need to see it.
Letting us down. Come on.
I know.
If anybody else has watched Happy Gilmore too, then you can relate to this. But mine would be, at any moment, being able to make somebody see their happy place. So without spoiling Happy Gilmore,
yeah, spoiler alert.
He wants to channel it into his happy place. So he closes his eyes and he thinks about things that make him happy, and gets all of those feelings and emotions, and it empowers him to then go on and do great things. And I think I would love to do that, especially as being in a leadership role, having people around you. You see people, have challenges and stuff within work, but also within life and stuff as well. And being able to just take somebody out of that moment to relieve them of their anxieties, their stress, their self-doubt, anything like that, and just put them in the happy place, I think would just be a real great thing to do, because in that moment you can just switch somebody's perspective in the blink of an eye, and then having people be in that state of mind as well, and like that kind of carefree approach, it brings the best out of them, and that's what you want from your teams and the people around you as well, because then you feed off that and it brings the best out of you as well. So I think that'll be a pretty cool
that would be cool
as well. Plus, like, it's linked to golf as well, and if anybody knows, I love golf, so it's always nice.
Chris is actually like gonna become a professional golfer. Watch this space, people. He is he will be in a few years' time. He'll be doing the PGA tour and all. So I know golf. I used to play it like badly. I used to play it badly. I won't say I used to play it. I used to try and play it. Let's put it that way. It's a great walk. I love the walks you get with golf, especially when you end up in the woods, and it's a lot lovely nature.
You end up in the ponds. That's the one you've got to stay away from.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, actually, just before we go on to that, from a technology perspective, have they actually put sensors in balls yet so that you can then find your ball more easily?
No, that's just called good eyesight, really, isn't it?
Mate, I used to smash it so far out the wrong way that it's like, I just want an app on my phone that goes, Stu, you're over there. Do you know what I mean?
There's great technology and stuff in clubs and stuff, but they've never. If anything, what's interesting, I wonder if this will actually come. This could be a whole new topic again, right? But as we're going into the age of AI and we're seeing all of these advancements, is it too much? Because what's happening in the professional game of golf is they're actually going to be bringing in a rule that reverts the current golf ball they have back to the technology that was in golf balls like 10, 15 years ago. So the pros don't actually hit the ball as far, because the problem they've got now is they hit it that far and they can't keep extending golf courses. So it's like the technology's enabled them to push beyond limitations of other things, so they have to scale it back.
Yeah, maybe we need to have a talk about that generally in sport, I reckon. Definitely. But we've gone off on a bit of a tangent there, haven't we? But anyway, who cares? Yeah, well, we haven't spoke for ages, so I don't care. Let's pull out some of these great superpowers that people were sharing. Any do you want to? You've got them in front of you as well, Chris, haven't you?
Yeah, I was just going to start with Philippa Jennings. So hi, Philippa. So
hello,
Philippa said, my superpower would be to be able to see into the future to get customer feedback on quality before the latest release has gone out. I mean,
That's
we would all like. I mean, if I'm being honest, mine wouldn't be to enable us to do my job better. It would be to see what the next lottery numbers are. But being able to obviously look into the future, I think, would be a fantastic superpower. But also, like thinking on that as well, like what is your customer's reaction, and
Yeah.
seeing how they, if you could fast forward time and once you've put something out there, how do they perceive that? Did you actually get it right?
Yeah.
What your business thought was what they wanted? What's the feedback you're getting from them and things like that? And
Yeah.
then you could go back and then obviously make changes with those insights, you know. And I think that would be really interesting, wouldn't it?
So that would be like the superpower of shifting right.
Yeah.
To then shift way left again to sort it out before you even get it out the door.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool, I have to say. But yeah, I'm a bit like you, Chris, actually. I'd also use it for the lottery numbers, I think. Yeah. Yeah. But there's pros and cons to every superpower, right? You know, you might be able to see into the future and see things you don't necessarily want to see as well. So.
Yeah, but then I suppose you might say it in the future, and then at least you can go back and you've got time to try and do something about it, change the course.
Yeah, true. But you know what happens, right? You know what happens? Doc Brown said this in Back to the Future. If you change the past, you don't always get the same result or a better result in the future. So you have to be a bit mindful of that.
Very true.
I mean, to be honest, I would actually just be happy with just getting customer feedback in general. It's like, you know, that would be being able to get customer feedback would be a great superpower for anybody, I think. You know, so yeah, no, that's a really good one, Philippa. I think it's definitely that's the superior version of shifting right. That one is. Do you know what I mean? That's way right, even before you've released something. That's cool. I'm gonna pull out. We've got so many to go through. Jakub. So Jakub says, time rewind, sort of real world undo button. So because QA involves breaking things, but sometimes things once broken can't be fixed. Also hindsight. Well, I'm quite all right figuring out what can go wrong, but that's because I'm a bit pessimistic. It would be easier to minimize risk without sounding miserable. I like that. Yeah. You don't need to sound miserable. I know you're not a miserable guy. But yeah, I think like having to time and rewind is very similar to what Philippa was saying there, but get sort of like you could almost do like fix repeat, right? And see how it responds, but without actually using real time.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about fast feedback. That would be like the ultimate fast feedback, wouldn't it? It'd be like, let's try it, pause. Yeah, let's go back again. Let's try it, pause, go back again. God, and you wouldn't age.
Yeah, well, that would be a great thing as well, wouldn't it?
Mate, we wouldn't even age.
I think we've all had projects where we feel like we've aged 20 years by the time we got to the end of it. It'd be nice to kind of go back to the start and how did it feel before we started?
Oh man, definitely. Oh, so many projects like that. So many. And you're like, by the time you deliver it, like, what was the reason in the first place? I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's grown and moved on. You know, all your kids have grown up and left home. So yeah, but that would be cool having. But my question would be, would you have a remote to do it? Would you physically have a remote to wind it forward and wind it back, or could there be, you know?
I always just think when we're talking about going forward or rewinding time, I think about Bernard's watch when he used to stop time.
We talked about this before, didn't we? Bernard's watch.
You just need the other dials, so you can have one to stop it, and then you just click forward and click back.
Yeah. Or just a little dial on your watch, like go that way or go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, smartwatches are very smart, but they're not quite that smart yet. So.
Yeah, it's no good if you go forward or back in time and then the battery dies on the watch because you forgot to charge it. then you're kind of screwed, aren't you? Because you might have went far enough back in time that that charger hasn't even been created yet.
Oh, but yeah. And also, your watch battery may only last 24 hours. So if you go more than 24 hours into the future, does that mean your watch is dead?
Also, if you go back in time, do you get younger?
That's the thing.
So if
I
you
mean,
went
Marty
back,
McFly didn't, did he?
if you went back 63 years, then you'd probably just be in diapers, wouldn't you?
I still am. It's the best way. Saves on underwear. Cool. What else have we got? We got loads. We got loads.
I've
Do you want
got
to
one
pick
here
another
from
one?
Stephen Platten.
Yep.
So I'm trying not to give a cliche answer. I think if I do have a superpower, I would say comfort in my own skin. I like that.
Yeah.
I've spent a long time throughout my life often battling with who I am and coming to terms with myself. Having done therapy and other things to get to a place of comfort with myself, it's allowed me to be happier. That happiness and comfort with myself hopefully comes through when I speak. And
Yeah, I love that.
I definitely think it does, Stephen. I've seen quite a bit of your work, and I know you're a really good public speaker as well. And it's that comfort with yourself certainly definitely comes across. And I mean, thanks as well for going back to like what we were talking about before, vulnerability. I think that's really great of you to publicly be vulnerable like that, and I'm sure a lot of people can connect with that. I mean, being comfortable in your own skin. I think in this day and age as well, there are so many things that make us question ourselves, who we are, and we always comparing ourselves to something out there or somebody else, and it's not always good. At the end of the day, life is for you to live, and there is no comparison you should be making to anybody other than yourself. Each day, just try and better who you were yesterday, and if you remotely trending in the right direction with that, then you're doing a great thing. So I think there's definitely a lot of people can relate to that, and I think that's a really powerful message you've sent there. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no, thank you, Stephen, for that. Definitely. Couldn't agree more with it either. And I think, in the roles that we play, you're having that comfort in your own skin, enables you to put yourself in the positions that help us then influence others, right? And so I think it's really powerful if you can do that. And so yeah, I think that's a great one. Let's have a squiz. Let's have a squiz. Dalbeer, go on then. I'll have a look at Dalbeer's one. So, firstly, Dalbeer says great topic. I know. Of course, it's a great topic. We don't have anything else but great topics, right? Dalbeer's superpower would be to be able to juggle. We have so many tasks to juggle and ensure that we get things done without dropping a ball, and have to get priority correct in a timely manner. So, yeah, being able to juggle things like multitasking, but like to the extreme. Do you know what I mean? And everybody says that as males we can't multitask anyway. So I think we all need that superpower down here. To be fair, to be able to multitask, especially when you're in a leadership position. We were actually talking about how difficult leadership in the quality space can be before we hit record, and because of the breadth of influence that we're trying to have and stuff like that, and there's so many different facets to what we're trying to do and stuff like that, and you have to juggle many balls, right? You have to juggle many things, and and yeah, that would be a really cool superpower to just do it so nonchalantly, to say this is easy, right? This is for anybody that can't see me, I'm pretending to juggle.
Effects in there, Stu. You can edit that one in.
I'll add a few balls in there to make it look like I'm actually juggling. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think that's a good one, Delbir. Thank you. What other ones have we got?
Let's have a look. I like that one as well by AJ Wilson. So hi AJ.
Yeah.
I always believe great leaders bring the weather with them. Their energy is the weather at the company. If they are frustrated and stressed out, guess what? The weather is at work. I want the ability to make leaders realize sooner rather than later when their outcomes are not clear. Comms is not clear, or that people don't understand the outcome they are supposed to achieve every week, because that affects everything. So my superpower, I guess, would be cue the musics with the lyrics, "It's raining then." Bad thing, detection of some sort to enable fast feedback. So I like that. I think reading that, it makes us think about my own experience as a leader, and how your energy as a leader can rub off on other people. So if you're down, it could be the tone of your voice, the type of language, like words that you use, and it, like, obviously not in a bad way, but just like how you go about explaining certain situations and things. It can maybe have a bit of an effect on people. People rub off on that energy. Whereas if you come and you're really enthusiastic, and you're really supporting people, you're getting behind people, they really see your passion. That rubs off on them in the same way, and they get that feeling. So I like that connotation with like the weather changing. This might be before my time as well, but I'm thinking, I might get the lyrics wrong as well, but was it the Lighthouse Family who sang, "Always take the weather with you everywhere you go"? And it makes us think of that. And there you go, a little bit of sunshine makes me smile.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it does, and I think I think that the energy thing is a really big factor, as a leader. But also, I think with that, you've got to be, you can't be false with it. It's got to be natural. It's got to be honest. Too often we're asked to be passionate and energetic and get behind things that maybe we don't agree with, and people can see through it, right? It's like, especially if people know you well, if the sort of the natural energy versus the forced energy, so being able to like call it out or pick up on it, like AJ was saying there, sooner rather than allowing it to actually happen. That would be cool. Or even differently, like a superpower that you can project to somebody else that enables them to know that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not even telling them. You project the power to them to enable them to see it within themselves. That would be cool.
I think, as I was thinking there as well with that one, that as leaders, if we're the weather, then we want to enable psychologically safe environments so everybody else becomes weather reporters, and they feel comfortable to report on whether it's raining today or it's sunshine, or hey, watch out, there's a lightning storm fast approaching. And be comfortable in doing that as well. So I think that could be a podcast episode in itself. I think there's a lot.
It's going to be
You could
so
talk around that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna read this one out from Dao. Dao Sidhu. Dao's funny. She's like, Quicksilver from X-Men. I would be Dao Quicksilver, kind of freezing time so I could fix all the pipelines that are deploying to prod. Remove any security vulnerabilities in the process. Type a load of code that should have been written by a bunch of engineers. Spill coffee on anyone I didn't like. Then have them trip up, and then write some positive affirmations to those who needed it on their monitors. And probably a bunch of other cool stuff, because I'm quick. It's just so anybody that's seen X-Men or seen like the Quicksilver X-Men character, I could just imagine Dow doing that. It's just like, especially the spilling coffee. I just like throwing coffee on people as she goes by because you don't like them. If I'm next in a room with you, Dow, and all of a sudden I've got coffee spilt over me and I'm not quite sure how it happened, I clearly know that you don't like me. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, being able to do those things with just says like what everybody else is like normal speed, and you're just like fixing everything, and yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? It'd be good if our pipelines were, that quick. That would be cool.
We've got so many, yeah. I mean,
I know, man. We've got so many.
One that stands out to me as well here is, and apologies if I pronounce this wrong, but Marta Gonzalez Ferrero.
Yeah.
I would have super empathy, the ability to understand what people are feeling so I can understand their triggers, what makes them tick. It would be super useful to understand and influence anything from team dynamics to customer interactions. Love that.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all kind of aspire to understand from a leadership perspective, is having super empathy to build great, meaningful connections with everybody. But so we can understand them, but also they can understand us as well.
Yeah.
And really develop that human connection. But then also from a business perspective, really get, like, the best thing you can do is try and understand your customer base as much as possible. And by understanding really what makes them tick, and then getting them to have a feeling about the product, like when you put your product in front of them, how does it make them feel, and really like understand that, because that's very, very powerful as well. If you can trigger feelings, if you can't, you put a product in front of them and they're like, yeah, it is what it is, then they're less likely to use it and connect, and build like a loyal customer base and things like that. So it's definitely an important thing, and I think it's one that's definitely being spoke about more and more, is the empathy, and not just leadership, but like any role in particular. I think there's a benefit to us all possessing that, and that would be a great.
And the thing is, with building empathy, it takes time, right? You have to get to know people, and you have to build relationships, and you can't just like snap your fingers and all of a sudden you have empathy for somebody. So if you did have that super empathy power that Marta's talking about here, maybe that would be a way of like speeding it up. You you still get to know that person, but you do it in a much quicker way, and etc.
Almost like you could plug into somebody and just download everything.
I feel like the Matrix.
And then like take that on board. I think, it would definitely be interesting.
Yeah. See, these things get your brain going, don't they?
They do, yeah.
You're gonna have some weird dreams tonight, people. That's all I'm gonna say. Where are we? Let's have a look. James Wadley. Let's have a look at what James Wadley's been saying. So James said, the ability to communicate with absolutely anyone about anything clearly, empathetically, and effectively. That would be cool. That would be a gift. Anything. It would allow for better discussions, better requirements gathering, better understanding of technical details, etc. Would also enable me to navigate difficult people and difficult conversations easily and with clarity, and build strong relationships / ensure everyone's voice is heard. Yeah, I think so much. We have to invest so much time, energy, emotion into being able to communicate in the ways that you've just spoken about there, James. To be able to do that, have a power to be able to do that effortlessly would be, that would be a gift and a half, wouldn't it? Eh?
No, 100%. And there's so many ways to communicate, and it's about getting the right message across, isn't it? It's not just the sake of communicating, and it's being able to navigate all of the different challenges. Like, we're all different, we all understand things in a different way, and being able to do that just so effectively would be fantastic. It's what we all kind of strive towards, right? The more speaking that we do, we try and be more clear, and like be able to get that message across in the right way. But it's certainly a fine art, and
it is,
few people come close to being a superpower. But at the same time, like, the world's a diverse place, and there's always a new challenge that we have to adapt to as well.
Yeah, and that being able to communicate in the ways that James is talking about there, you've got to make things relatable for people, right? And so they really resonate and stuff like that. And again, coming back to what we were saying earlier about empathy and relationship building and stuff like that, to be able to communicate effectively, relatably, so that it resonates with people, you've got to have relationships with them. You've got to know the people that you're talking to and understand them. And, to be able to have that ability to just, without any effort at all, just know exactly, right, I need to communicate this to you, Chris, in this way, because I know that this is how you best receive it, right? Not having to put too much effort into it and stuff like that, and having that energy to then go and put into other things. Yeah, man, I'd love that.
Yeah, no misconceptions.
No misconceptions, just bang. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Do you think, though, one of the negative effects of that, would it stifle innovation?
Maybe.
Because through not having super transparent communication, it allows people to interpret the message in their own way and then evolve it off the back of that. Obviously, it can go horribly wrong as well. But
it can, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, like we said before, there's advantages and disadvantages to everything in life. Right?
Well, this is the thing. Uncle Ben did say, with great power comes great responsibility, right? So if you use your power in the wrong way, if you're lazy, so I'm thinking, I don't have to spend any time, any energy. It'll be so easy. I can go down the pub. Probably not the best use of the power, is it? Really? No, but obviously, there would be things you'd have to consider with all of this, right? Sometimes the challenging conversations are actually the most valuable ones.
Yeah,
I find the ones that you really have to work on, the relationships you really have to strive to build, those kind of things, they generally become the most rewarding and most valuable in the long run, because you feel like you've achieved something as well.
Do you think the ability to fit, like, this has just been mind pinging off, but this could be a load of rubbish, but yeah, we go, brace yourself. Do you think having the ability to have those difficult conversations, which we all have the ability to do, is a superpower in itself? Because through difficult conversations, you build a lot of these superpowers. You build empathy. Through having a difficult conversation, you can speed up things as well. You can fast forward into time almost, because you have a better understanding of what that person's like, so you can predict the future a bit better. But then also on past experiences, it gives you an opportunity to reflect through those hard conversations and reanalyze a situation differently of how you interpret it in the first place. So that could be a challenge to everybody. Have your next difficult conversation, write down every superpower that you could build off that conversation, because there's probably a lot of things.
Yeah, turn a really difficult situation into a bit of fun. All right?
Yeah.
See what you can learn from it. Absolutely.
There's a good one here from Lewis Smith, and this got us, when I was reading it got us attracted to your Venom hat there, thinking a bit about the dark side and stuff. So Lewis says, hi Lewis, he says, for me it'll have to be mind reading, and that could be dangerous.
Oh yes, you don't want to be reading my mind. God, no.
Working in cybersecurity, I'd love to see the minds of a threat actor before, during and after an attack. This sort of information would be priceless for someone working in cyber and would allow a safe cyberspace for people and businesses.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting. Like, because you see people do cyber attacks and stuff, and like we always hear on the news about the holding them to ransom and wanting like a monetary amount out of it, but it's not always the case. So I'd like to understand the other cases, like what is their motivator and drive behind doing something like that. exposing vulnerabilities and doing different cyber crimes and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting, but just as well, being able to see their thought process of how they go about exposing vulnerabilities and the types of things that they leverage when doing such activities, I think it would be fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, right? We work, in tech. A lot of people in tech are always trying to strive for what is the art of the possible, right? And in some of these situations, people will be doing it because they just want to try and do it, and they can do it, and they've proven they can do it. They don't necessarily want anything from it, I'd love to just, do you know what I mean? Like you say, just delve into that mindset a little bit of like, what sort of what drives them more so than anything. What is the driver to doing it in the first place? Because I'd be keen to say I just did it because I could. Do you know what I mean?
If there's anybody who works at Netflix and you've got incredible influence, please try and get a documentary made about that, because that'd be fantastic watch.
Yeah, and have us as part of it, please. If you're watching this and you work at Netflix, we'd love to be on the show.
We'll shout out to Chris and Stu.
Yeah, absolutely. You could like show this bit of podcast on there, and it's like, hi. You never know. We might be famous. How are we doing for time? We've got a little bit of time. Yeah, we've got a couple more minutes before we need to close it off. But where do I go next? Come on. I'm going to go with Rosie Sherry, because she starts off with, I'd go for community superpower. And anybody that knows Rosie will understand why she would go for community superpower. But on a more serious note, the ability to see how data connects better, to see how interconnects and part of the system builds flow, create connections, enable better or worse content. Do you know what? That would be really an intriguing thing, right? Because the whole thing around AI and the data that sits behind it and how it's connected, and obviously how machine learning works and stuff like that. If you could just have the power to just see all the different connections and understand, oh man, I don't know whether it would be really sort of interesting or just completely overwhelming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It would just be crazy, wouldn't it? And like,
I just imagine it would be like being a brain surgeon, analysing like all the neural pathways in the brain and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah. But I would love to see that from a people perspective, like how people connect and what makes one person connect to another person in a particular way, and do you know what I mean? And what are the things that bring people together? Coming like to the point about community, if we could understand how we could connect people and the things that like connect two people together, then four people together, and just like in a much easier way, that would be cool. Because for anybody that's tried to build community, whether that be within an organization, externally, or anything, you'll always have like people that are just there wanting to do it. They're engaged, they're excited, they're passionate. And then there'll be the people that are on the fence and not too sure. What's the thing that's going to sort of bring them in, kind of thing. And then you've got the people that are like, I don't do community. I'd just love to see I'd love to see the things that would actually maybe bring them over and make them part of it. Because being within a really strong, supportive, engaged and passionate community is really powerful, right? And Ministry of Testing, obviously the community that Rosie herself is building and continues to build, is a great example of that, right? It's it's really powerful.
I think just on that as well, I was thinking about the work that Rosie's doing with the community, and how at the minute with Ministry of Testing community, everyone's building out their personal profiles within the platform and stuff, and helps you obviously promote your own personal brand and stuff. But I wonder if there is some kind of keys within your profile that they might be able to add in around like key attributes about you, and then you could potentially filter those based off people who have the same sort of attributes, and then you can find connection opportunities with people of similar interests, similar values, things like that, and then use the platform that way to find people outside of your organization who you can connect with.
Yeah, almost like a dating app, but not for dating.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tinder, but for not those purposes.
Yeah.
They call it Tester.
There's a one for you, Rosie.
Yeah.
You can have a look into that. It could be a good idea to bring further.
Create a perfect match app. There you go. But for the testing and quality community. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you see it for things like mentors, don't you? Like you can go on and you can select certain, what do you want from a mentor, and then it will match you with certain people and stuff like that. And so that'd be cool. Yeah. Oh, so we're getting so many ideas from this. So many ideas. Couple more. Let's do a couple more. Just, I know we're running out of time, but we'll do a couple more. Do you know what? I don't think I can ever do a show where this person isn't mentioned. So I'm going to mention Eamon.
I'm going to say, shall we finish off with Eamon?
All right, let's finish off with Eamon. Right, let's finish off. Sorry, Eamon, you've got to wait, mate.
So hold on. I'll go with the next one. You can finish off with Eamon.
Go.
So I was going to go Paul Kerrison. So what's interesting about Paul is he's labelled the potential negative side effects of this superpower, and he's also given a name. So
Paul's really got in, and if anybody knows Paul does like his these sort of things. So yeah,
follow Paul on LinkedIn or the Dunelm Tech blog, and you'll find more
Paul
things
Kerrison.
like this.
You'll even see him trying to DJ.
Yes,
on his LinkedIn profile
as well. Got to do him. So his superhero name is Nexus Prime. His superhero power: annihilate technical debt with a thought, completely dissolving and rebuilding problematic sections of code or architecture from scratch, perfectly optimized without disrupting ongoing development. But the possible negative effects of that: if somebody can instantly remove all tech debt, why bother creating good stuff in the first place? And it makes us think about the age of AI again, and how we are using AI more and more. But I think especially as we use it for code implementation, we are less conscious about how optimized that code is. And we just think about getting a working solution. But what we forget is it takes years of practice of people understanding the fundamentals of programming and knowing when to take different approaches. As we know, there's loads of different ways to build it, but there's a real fine art in being able to optimize something, and the whole beauty of refactoring and things like that. And could that be a negative impact of AI, like as Paul mentioned? In this case, being able to completely rebuild something, and like the loss of technical debt.
Do you know what? This also, to be fair, this also reminds me of that mentality of testing as a safety net, right? So I'm not going to worry about building something that is technically sound, because somebody else is going to tell me it's not technically sound and tell me where it's broken, and then we'll fix it after.
Yeah.
So it's quite, when you put it like that, it's kind of like that thinking, isn't it? It's like, why bother building it in a good way if I know that somebody's going to tell me it's wrong, and we'll fix it afterwards anyway. Do you know what I mean?
It's definitely.
So Nexus Prime. watch out for Nexus Prime coming to a cinema near you.
And then last but not least,
Last,
choo-choo.
yeah, here comes
Oh,
Choo Choo Amon, Choo, friend
quality and train.
and regular resident of the show he has become.
Yes.
So Eamon starts off by saying, this isn't to give Chris a big head or anything. I was at the meetup, and what an amazing talk it was from Chris. Clappy hands, clappy hands. To answer the question, I wouldn't call it a superpower as such, but in the series Naruto, I think that's how you say it, the character Naruto has the ability to make clones of himself. The clones can be used to fight. The clones can be used to fight, but more relevant here is that they can learn things, and anything they learn is automatically learned by Naruto when they disappear. So if 100 clones read 100 books, all that knowledge is transferred to him. That's what I'd want. Imagine being able to go to a conference and attend every talk, workshop, and speak to every person there. You'd have so much knowledge.
Oh, yeah, you would. It's a good one, that, being able to clone yourself. And
Yeah. I mean, I was saying about being able to hear all the different things at the start, right? And being able to, but that's even better. If you can clone somebody, that might be a way it works, right?
I think my wife Lois might complain though if there was like 10 of us in the house.
We don't even need to have one in the house, Chris. The other 9 could be going and doing other things
Yeah, could
for
be
you, right?
playing golf, right?
You could be playing
9
golf.
different golf courses and being
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that would be. I still would wonder, like, could our brains cope with that much knowledge and processing that much information all at the same time? So if you had 100 clones, and all of a sudden all those clones left and all that information passed to you, trying to process all of that information at once, would your brain have a meltdown?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I it's like Aubrey came back from her first day at secondary school today, and she's like, my brain was like, what? Do you know what I mean? And that's just one child, let alone 99 other me's. So yeah, I think it would be a really cool superpower, but maybe we'd need to sort of stagger the clones disappearing. I think my brain would literally have a meltdown. So
yeah, got to do a bit of boundary analysis there and just see what the threshold is. Start by 1, 2, and then see what we can't go without.
Yeah, and to be fair, when Eamon, me and Eamon were at the National Software Testing Conference, and on day 1, I said to him, mate, you look like you're taking lots of notes. Do you fancy doing a podcast episode on this? Now I know why he wants that superpower, so that he doesn't have to take his notes anymore. So yeah, that's brilliant. Some really good ones on here. We haven't gone through them all either. We've had others from Sandio, Chetan, Joe, Claire, Gomanthi, Laura. Yeah, there's so many on here. So thank you for everybody that sent through their ideas. They're all really cool. Yeah, some of them are like really like, I wonder how we could actually. Is there a way that we could actually make that work? But also, I just want to say though, like, everybody has elements of these superpowers, right? What we're talking about here, and I mean, we're talking about the superpower being able to do these things on mass and high scale, and easily and fast, and all this sort of thing. But everybody out there's got their own superpowers, right? And I think that's the thing to remember, that I always liken it to the likes of Batman. Batman don't have any superpower, right? He's just got determination, a chip on his shoulder, and some really cool tech. Right? He's got some really cool tech. So yeah, he doesn't actually have a superpower. You can say Iron Man didn't either, right? He just had really cool tech, right? But that's the thing. Like, superpowers aren't necessarily, a power. They're within you already. So we can all pull these things out. And I think this has been really fun, just having a bit of a laugh with it.
Just on that as well, like as Stu said, we all definitely do have our own superpowers. But going back to Rosie's point about community, that's the beauty of community, because we leverage each other's superpower. So where we might not necessarily have that superpower, but we know somebody else has, by building good relationships, we can leverage that for our own gain as well. And that's why it's really important, to put yourself out there and get speaking with other people and get to understand what makes them tick.
Yeah, absolutely. We have got, I'm going to try and do this, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we have a wheel of names that we are going to spin to see who's going to win some Quality Talks merch, people. So thank you for everybody that's shared a comment. Everybody's name's gone into this wonderful branded wheel that you can see I've spent hours creating. So I'm going to click the button and we're going to watch it spin. You see, we got up in tech. It used to be like a little pot, like used to be this pot, right? Not anymore. It's a proper wheel using technology. So let's go. Who's going to win? And the winner is there's Joe. It is, isn't it? Yes, this is Joe. Yeah. Well done, Joe. We didn't actually read Joe's out, did we? But Joe still won, so that's fair.
What we can do is we'll put a LinkedIn post out, and we can obviously announce Joe's the winner, and we'll also put the comment that she put, because we unfortunately didn't get an opportunity to read it out, but we'll put it out in that post as well. So
we absolutely will,
Joe.
Yeah, well done, Joe. Thank you for your comment and for your answer, and thank you to everybody that just took time to have a bit of fun with it. This has been really cool. It's been great having you back, Chris. Missed you, man.
Thanks, mate. Missed you too.
So I think that's us done. I think that's it, right? We're done. We've had our fun. We've picked a winner. We've picked a winner. Chris has got to have his dinner. So
I've got something slow cooking in the oven.
Yes, he's got something slow cooking in the oven. Don't know what it is. It's been in there for hours. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. We hope you've enjoyed this. We've had a bit of fun with it. But have a think about it. What's your superpower? What would your superpower be that would help you in your day-to-day role, whether that be as a quality engineer or software engineer or whatever? Drop it in the comments. Let us know. We're always interested to hear. But that's it for this episode. We'll let you get back to whatever it is you're doing, and join us next time on another episode of Quality Talks podcast. Take care for now.